Hey there, Virgo, and welcome to your week of January 10th, 2021 General Tarot reading. We're going to be looking at your energy coming into this week. Over here on the left, in the center, we're going to be looking at some potential challenges for you this week. And over on the right, we're going to be looking at some potential outcome cards for you as well. We're going to try and get some more details out of these by pulling some more cards to clarify them a little later on in the video. And then at the end, we're going to tie everything off with an oracle card at the end. So you're going to want to stick around to see your full message. These are general readings though. Virgo, going through all the earth signs first. But these are general readings. So all of this, none of this, or maybe even some of this, or maybe just some of this might resonate with you. And if it does, that's great. If it doesn't, though, it's just not part of your message. So don't try to make something fit that doesn't. But without further ado, in your energy over here on the left, we got the Tower, the Queen of Swords, and the Temperance card. I like that you've had a Tower moment recently because, you know, Tower moments are these big upheavals, these big changes in their life. And the Tower really represents the kind of, not necessarily the midpoint, but it is a point in which we've changed enough so that we can pursue what we want, right? You don't get to cards like the Star or the World, for instance, without going through a Tower moment first, right? You don't get that big completion. You don't get your wishes coming true without having that happen yet. So either you've recently had a Tower moment or one is coming to you soon. And Tower moments, people are always scared of them. They're always like, oh, that's terrible. It looks horrible what's happening here. It is for one person in this card. This person over here on the right, they're going to land head first because they got pushed out of the tower. This person jumping out over here on the left, they jumped out. They were like, okay, there's change coming. The tower's coming down. I'm getting out, right? You'd rather be out of the tower when it's coming down than in it. And if you're going to get out of it, you might as well come out and jump out and, you know, take advantage of it as best you can rather than getting dropped on your head, right? So I'm liking that. Queen of Swords and the Temperance card here. Temperance is Sagittarius' card, so you may have Sagittarius in your chart, or you might be dealing with a Sagittarius this week. But with the Queen of Swords and Temperance here, we're really taking a very honest approach at this time. And it's an approach that's also very flexible and it's very experimental. You know, not necessarily like we're doing wild, crazy new things, but we're willing to kind of push our comfort zones, push our limits a little bit here, while also being honest and truthful. Kind of sort of like, okay, I don't know, you know, I'm going to have to push my limits, or I'm going to have to do things a little different than I'm used to doing them in order to get to where I want to be, right? So I like that a lot. That's a mature response to something, instead of being like, no, I'll just make it work the way I've always been doing it. We're changing, we're adapting, we're evolving here. So I love that. It's fantastic, Virgo. In your challenges, we got the Three of Cups, the World, Zawaldo, and the Fool. So I like this a lot as well. But I'd like that normally, but where it's in your challenges, I don't like that so much. Because the World and the Fool kind of feed into each other, right? The World is that big climactic ending, and the Fool is a new beginning. So they kind of feed into each other. It's almost as if you're hoping for this. You're hoping for this end of something and the start of something new here. Like you're hoping for that to come down, and reasons to celebrate that as well with the Three of Cups, because it is a card of celebrations. But it's just not happening, right? Like that's the end goal, and it seems like it's a bit out of reach at this time, right? I see nothing really in your way. I feel like it's just more like we know we're on the road, we're on the path, right? You can think of it as this here, what you want to accomplish in the end is sort of this mountain and the sun here in the distance on the Temperance card. And it's like, this is kind of like the end goal. Like all of this here is kind of the end goal, but we're starting off fresh again, right? We're coming out of the water and we're on a whole new path now. We're on a whole new wavelength. So it is going to be a lot of hard work. So this stuff does seem kind of out of reach at this time. In your outcome cards, we got the Ten of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Four of Swords here. With this, the Ten of Cups is your dreams come true. You know, whatever your dreams looks like for you, whether that's, you know, your family, being, you know, your dream partner, having kids, your dream home, dream life, dream job, all that good stuff. Or if it looks a little different for you, maybe you want to travel the world. That's your dream, is to live your life on the road. Maybe that is, you know, it's different for everybody, right? These are general readings, of course, but your dreams come true here, and not necessarily this week, but in the future. I feel like we're on the right path. We're getting put onto the right path. We're heading in the right direction. So I love all of that. With the Seven of Swords here, the Seven of Swords really talks about I feel like this needs to be handled delicately, right? We are experimenting and we are pushing our boundaries, but we don't want to go over our limits. You know, if you understand what I mean by that. What I mean is that we want to push our boundaries, want to, you know, get out there. We want to kind of broaden our horizons, but we don't want to go over our limits and then kind of have a bad experience because of that. So we have to be delicate. We kind of have, it is a bit of a balancing act. It is a bit of a, being a delicate situation, right? Where this person's carrying these swords, they're carrying them by the blade. They're not carrying them by the handle, by the grip, right? So they're carrying them by the edge. And that's kind of like what it's saying is like, your limits, like pushing your limits are great, but it's like almost razor thin between like what is necessarily pushing your boundaries and having a good time and going over the limit, right? That edge is very, very thin. And with the Four of Swords here, I like this because it's saying that blessings are coming into you. This stained glass window here in the corner tells us, hello, Spike. It doesn't tell us hello, Spike. It tells us that blessings are coming in for you. This person here is being blessed as they're sitting here, recouping, recovering, getting better. So I like that. That's great. I like this is there, like even your challenges aren't bad, Virgo. It's really more of a like your goals for the future here. So I'm liking that a lot. So let's take a look at some potential clarifiers here. Well, not potential. These are going to be your clarifiers, but let's take a look at some clarifiers here for you in just a moment, Virgo. Before we do, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. I hope that this is helping you out, resonating with you. I appreciate all the love and support you send to me in the videos, all the likes, the subscribes, the comments, all that stuff. I love it so much. Thank you. I'm sending love and support to you as well. Hopefully, even if this isn't resonating with you, this isn't clicking with you so far, I hope that things are going good with you and yours. But remember, after the clarifiers, we're going to be getting into an oracle card to tie everything off, so you're going to want to stick around for the full message. But without further ado, your clarifier starting us off. We got the Death card, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles, clarifying your energy. The Death card is Scorpio's card, so you may have Scorpio in your chart, but the Death card is really talking about that cycle. There's that yearning for the change, right? The Tower is a card of change. The Death card is a card of change. The World is a card of change. The Fool is a card of change. There's a lot of change on your mind, a lot of like what you're working towards here at this time, which I love a lot. This is really you working towards these cycles, the end of something, the beginning of something new. I love it. This is great. This is all very good energy. With the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Swords here as well, the Ace of Pentacles is telling us that you're really focused on creating something, like starting from like zero, from just a seed to grow into something magnificent, which is beautiful. And with the King of Swords, along with the Queen of Swords here, maybe this is, relationship focused, because I did mention here, there's a happy family here with the Ten of Cups. So I feel like for a lot of you, that's kind of the end goal. With the King and Queen of Swords, they are divine counterparts, so that's beautiful. But if that's not your end goal, the King and Queen of Swords are just kind of saying honesty is the best policy. Work on things that help you out, objectively help you out, not things that like you can attach an emotional stake to and say, well, it's not as good as this, but I'm keeping it around because it means something to me. The King of Swords says, no, you cut that out. We only take what is helping us and actually just straight up helping us, not doing any harm whatsoever. So let's take a look and clarify your challenges here as well. See what we got going on. For you, Virgo, we got the Sun, we got the Ten of Pentacles, we got the Two of Wands. Again, this is stuff you're working towards. I don't feel like there's no sense of trouble I'm getting in your challenges. It's more like these are your goals, and they just kind of seem far away. With the Sun, it's the happiest card in the deck. We were talking about that with the Temperance card. There's the sun rising in the mountains. That's your ultimate goal. The Ten of Cups, your ultimate goal, your dreams come true. The Two of Wands talks about balance and harmony. Oddly enough, there's a map of the world here on the Two of Wands, like your ultimate completion. Where will it be? The Ten of Pentacles is what the Ace of Pentacles will eventually grow into. This is all just you shooting towards your goals. And I feel like the best I can say for this right now is define this. Like, define it. Don't let it kind of sit there, Virgo, and be like, sort of a wandering generality, right? When you define something, you say, this is what this looks like to me. This is what I'm working towards. I'm looking towards this type of a person for my partner. I'm looking for this type of a job. I'm looking for this kind of a work environment. I'm looking for this, that, and the other. This kind of a car to drive. This kind of a home, right? Whatever that is that you're working towards, define it. Because how will you know what it is to stop? stop looking for it when you found it if you don't know what it looks like, right? So that's what I'm really seeing here, is define what it is. So we got cards popping out for your clarifiers, for your outcome cards. Remember, we're tying everything off with an oracle card after this too. So let's take a look. We got the Knight of Wands. I love that. We got the Ten of, all sorts of tens in your reading. Ten of Swords and the Knight of Cups as well. This is great because the Ten of Wands, or the Ten of Wands, jumpins. The Ten of Swords talks about an abrupt ending. Like, I feel like the turnaround for you is going to be very quick, right? It's not going to be something that is like, this is going to be long and drawn out. Like, I feel like once you got a defined look at, like, this is what I truly want, and it may take time to develop that, right? But I feel like once you get that developed, once you know what that exactly looks like for you, it's going to be like a quick turnaround, and we're going to be heading full steam for it with the Knight of Wands here and the Knight of Cups. They're kind of the mid-range speed knights, right? They're not moving too fast, but they're also not moving too slow either. They're just right, you know, as Little Red Riding Hood would say. So I like that. With the Knight of Wands here, it's all about you moving in a direction that for growth, it's moving in a direction that is really something you desperately, not necessarily desperately, but something you really want, something you really desire. And with the Knight of Cups, it's also moving towards a dream you have, right? What I love about this Knight of Cups is that traditionally the Knight of Cups is depicted on the opposite side of the river, where he's kind of going towards the river and he's like, maybe I should cross it, maybe I should. This Knight of Cups has come across and he's like, I'm full tilt, this is where I'm headed. And I love that. I love that you're going to be doing that. You're going to be like, let's go. My dreams are over here. I'm going to find them. So that's fantastic. It's just, you got to define them. And once you got it, and like I say, it may take time. It may take some experimentation. It may take some pushing your boundaries, you know, dating different kinds of people, trying out different kinds of jobs, living life, right, Virgo? But again, once you got it defined, we're going to be good to go. So let's tie this all off with an oracle card. Thank you for sticking around with me here, Virgo. Appreciate it so much. I hope this has been helping out. Hope this has been resonating. And let's see what your oracle card is. We got for you the Starfish Spirit, open to infinite possibilities. Like, I feel like once you're there, once you got kind of like your mind's eye, your actual eyes, your sort of willingness to try new things, to be open to the possibilities. You may just find out you love something. You may find you love something really a ton that you never would have considered trying before, but now you're taking an open-minded approach to it. I feel like you're gonna be like, yeah, this is great, this is awesome. And this is gonna really open you up. What I love here too with the Starfish Spirit is you can kind of see with the sun here, and not just the sun, but the Ace of Pentacles, both would kind of be in the center of the starfish, as if that's what's on your mind. That's the sort of like your mind's eye. That's sort of your center, your main thing you're working towards is happiness, is growth, is opportunity, is whatever you want. It's really heading towards that. So I love that. That's fantastic. So I hope this has helped you out. Hope this has resonated, Virgo. If you want to help out the channel, you can hit that like button. You can subscribe to the channel as well. That'll help you find this channel easier in your subscription feed, so you can check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus sign videos too after this. Thank you for being here with me, Virgo, and I hope to see you in the next video.